Interestingly, we haven't seen the indictments yet. There's been some time lag. I suppose it will take some time to go through all the forensic, evidence.
Well, the things that I experienced with him were monster-like. That stuff almost destroyed my life.
We all seen the headlines, raids, courtroom sketches of a once untouchable mogul now facing reckoning. But what we're learning isn't just about Sean Diddy Combs' its web influence that stretched far beyond his mansion walls, and at center latest storm Paris Hilton, not as bystander victim, someone insiders claim deeply embedded in very parties under FBI scrutiny question she saw allegedly participated. Why, after years' silence, might finally be closing timing weeks ago. Federal agents executed search warrants, properties law, Miami move sent shock.
Now we should say that, remember, Diddy and his team were very upset when they found out that this footage was part of the documentary, and they tried to shut it down, but the
act of taping it is what
out.
is so
the
awful.
The act of taping it, right.
Without Agnifalo's
Diddy would say that I didn't authorize that video going out, and the argument they've made is that he's the one who has the right, that he owns that.
Waves through industry, charges, racketeering, trafficking pattern behavior, systemic prosecutors describe enterprise. Here's twist, sources familiar, investigation. Looking at, they're tracing connections who attended, benefited, might have turned blind eye what was really happening behind velvet ropes. That's where Paris Hilton's name surfaces, not guessed, but someone insiders describe active participant in after-hours culture, allegedly fueled Did's operation. We're talking vague rumors, firsthand accounts from individuals tied to case. Claim Hilton wasn't just present at these gatherings. She fixture one former associate spoke on condition anonymity, her more than socialite, part machinery, implication, same parties, aspiring art.
I'm sorry, I'm just I'm in this moment right now. This is crazy. Sorry. People don't really know how much what it does to you when something that you love is taken from you and thrown away like it don't even matter, and then they move on with their lives and you're stuck. You're stuck during those years. You're still stuck 21.
Space coercion. Substances flowed freely. Cameras rolled private rooms. Also, space's presence, incidental, it strategic. And now with legal team scrambling, contain, fallout, question, isn't his guilt else expose full scope events comes light. Let's rewind, understand why matters. White infamous annual bashes weren't social events, they power moves. From 1998 to 2009, they drew A-listers like Mariah Carey, Jay-Z, and yes, Paris Hilton under the guise of breaking down racial generational barriers. Dress code was all white vibe, exclusive, but behind scenes lawsuits alleged something far darker. 2024 filing man who attended inaugural party.
So Q of day 26, they were on Making the Band 4. He has finally come out and had a conversation about why he was so upset and crying in a lot of his interviews, talking about Diddy and that whole conversation. Yeah. And he is making some really huge allegations against Dawn.
At just 16 years old, describes being lured into private area. Diddy demanded he prove himself as rite passage stardom. Another security guard claims given substance assaulted. 2006 event. Then there's Audria, English adult film performer, says she groomed trafficking after working multiple drinks spiked. So does fit in according sources, wasn't guest recurring presence.
As we've seen dozens of new photos we haven't seen before of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell with very high profile people, celebrities, people like Mick Jagger and Michael Jackson, like you showed, also like British royalty and actors. All of that we sort of knew was happening. I want to highlight specifically two for the public interest, and that is President Clinton and President
VIP section's most questionable behavior occurred. 1. Industry insider who worked PR for early 2000s told us wasn't their music access they claim came with expectations. The same parties were Quay from day 26 as he blacked out after being given substances, where Dawn Richard has denied allegations of facilitating similar incidents, and Justin Bieber's name resurfaced in connection to Diddy's 48 hours madness with a 15-year-old. These weren't scenes excess. They allegedly staging grounds for leverage. Now let's connect dots. Epstein, Hilton, long floated Jeffrey Circle, though any meaningful interaction. 2025 interview, Times dismissed claims Ghislaine Maxwell tried recruit her as clickbait.
You had day 17 in the Diddy trial as the biggest one yet. Guess what? Bingo, you won, because today was probably the most eventful day as far as things that happened that were said on the stand, and most importantly, things that the judge said, because Diddy almost got kicked out of his own trial.
I don't even remember meeting. But here's problem. Photos place her at same 2000 and John fashion show where Maxwell and Donald Trump were also present, while Hilton may not recall encounter. The timing is impossible to ignore. Epstein's operation. Diddy's parties weren't just parallel, they part of ecosystem power influence. Alleged exploitation intersected. What's changed? FBI's current probe isn't about network coming up in isolation. It's tied testimonies from individuals like Quay, who broke down Vlad TV interview describing how woke twins' bedroom screaming with cameras rolling. It felt very sacrificial, he said, his voice cracking. Or Dawn Richard vehemently denied giving Quo substance, whose statement situation is one person, hence a much larger circle complicity than Usher lived 13 later told Howard Stern saw.
Diddy really screwed up, and I'm not referring to his criminal trial, which has him sitting in prison right now, but it has to do with something that happened right before he got arrested. If you've seen the Netflix documentary about Diddy, Diddy The Reckoning, which 50 Cent produced, there's some footage there that had never been seen before. This is a photographer that Diddy hired to follow him around and document.
So while couldn't even process them, asked if he'd let own kids near that environment. Response immediate, hell no. Why? Alleged involvement only surfacing now. 2 words, legal pressure. With Diddy's trial looming in May 2025 and over 120 accusers reportedly coming forward, FBI isn't just building a case against one man. They're mapping system that Hilton's role, whether as witness, participant, or something between, could be critical. Insiders suggest same leverage allegedly used to control artists' career.
There is a partial verdict in the Diddy case. After 2 days, the jury has reached unanimous decisions on 4 of the 5 counts.
The problem is that 5th count means that we don't get to find out what the verdicts are on the other 4 because they are hung up on
opportunities, blackmail. The promise of fame might have extended celebrities who orbited his world for someone like whose brand was built on being ultimate. Insider stakes, cooperation, silence would been sky high. Here's gets even more complicated. Wake, rage, Justin Bieber unfollowed Usher. Instagram move sparked speculation about what he know own history. 48 hours clip joke things you do. Big Brother pup resurface footage. 15-year-old at house handed bottle. Unidentified woman has never addressed connections publicly. Timing his social media purge,
bigger.
right?
It's probably leaning towards guilt. Now, on the racketeering, I agree with you that the predicate acts may be found, but that's not all they need. There's an ultimate question. The first question on the jury verdict form is, do you find him guilty or not guilty of racketeering? Before you even get to the predicate acts, which you only get to if you find guilt, they could just be hung up on that question and say, this guy's not Tony Soprano. I am not convinced that I even want to find guilt.
As scandal exploded, coincidence if team distancing does say others there, let's talk white party guest lists weren't random, carefully curated mixes, old money, elites, hip-hop, royalty, young stars rise. Paris Hilton fit that mold perfectly, a socialite with enough clout to draw attention, but ambition play by the rules of room, and according multiple lawsuits weren't just about networking allegiance. One former Bad Boy Records employee who spoke BBC News under anonymity described parties as facade for something much darker, all-white dress, code, symbol, purity, reality, anything. Now consider timing recent statements. 2025 Epstein.
So he put his hands on females, put his hands on producers, executives. That's just his. I guess that's what the whole name Bad Boy comes from. That people don't really understand. What is it? What is a bad boy? Why did he choose that name? Like he never really gave a clear definition of how he feels about that name.
Files dominated headlines. She dismissed Maxwell recruitment claim, clickbait, breath, acknowledged I'm such good name. That's not denial, it's deflection. World high stakes legal battles, deflections often first sign story about unravel. Here's what we know. Sure, FBI evidence Diddy's trial is coming, and the list of names tied to his operation isn't just long, it's growing. Paris Hilton, only reputation online, but it might be one most fragile, because if allegations about her involvement in these parties are true, wouldn't scandal, would career-ending revelation, how far she was willing go, stay at top. That's before we even get emails, resurface clips, testimonies from artists who say they were broken by system or fact as weak. Diddy's legal team